good. Okay. So what left? Wait comments. Hmm. So what are WebDriver wait commands and synchronization commands? This is the interview question also. So wait commands uh, are basically used to pause the execution. So while execution, it will just stop little bit. It will just pause, not stop. It will pause. So for a specified amount of duration or until a certain condition is met. So basically they are going to help to handle the synchronization issues between your browser and a WebDriver tool. If there is a sync issues, then so WebDriver will claim I couldn't find this element, I couldn't find this text. So you will get some timeout issues or element not found issues. So this kind of exceptions you will get. So in order to handle them, we need to use Selenium WebDriver wait commands. So WebDriver enables the user to choose. So three types of waits are there. One is implicit wait, explicit wait, fluent wait. So these three types of waits are present. So implicit waits are set globally in your test script on the top. One time you will set and apply to all the lines of code in the test script. So they instruct the WebDriver to wait for a certain amount of time before throwing an exception if an element is not found. That's the implicit wait. So it will be applicable for all the lines of code. One time if you set, it will applicable for all the lines of code. Explicit waits. Explicit waits are used for specific elements and conditions. They wait until a certain condition is met or a timeout occurs before proceeding. So basically, you can wait for the element. You can wait for the element to be clickable, or you can wait for the frame to be available and switch to it. You can wait for the URL so appears on the page. You can wait for the page title to be appeared. For example, you are moving from one page to other page. Next page title you want to verify to make sure that so you are on the right page. So all these conditions, so you can apply with this explicit wait commands. So there is a fluent waits. So this is a slight variation from explicit wait, but it allow you to define how frequently you want me to poll uh, for the element, or you want to ignore specific exceptions during the wait time, and you can configure that with the fluent waits. So these are the three types of waits. Very important, mandatory interview question. Please read it thoroughly, and all three waits you should be able to explain properly. So when and why are waits necessary? So loading delays. Main reason is so loading delays will be there. So your loading delays means web applications may load content dynamically, causing elements to appear or disappear. So waits ensure scripts don't proceed until the page is fully loaded. That's the main purpose, one purpose why you need waits. So animations and transitions. So it may take UI animations like images, right? And videos. So can affect element visibility immediately when the page loads. So waits help test scripts to interact with the element once they become visible. So once they become stable in the page. So that is the another advantage. Server response times. If your test depends on data retrieval from the server, and you should wait for the server response. So right, sometime it will take. So until that it has to wait. So that wait time, so we have to include in Selenium. That is another asynchronous operations. When performing asynchronous actions like clicking a button, that triggers a background process. So waits ensure that process completes before proceeding to the next page or next event you want to verify. So all these will be so helped with proper waits. So how to implement the waits? You should identify the conditions. So which condition you want to wait for, such as element visibility, invisibility, or a specific text value or specific title of the page. So any of these conditions you have to identify first. So what condition you are looking for? So identification of condition is very important. Choose the right wait. So decide whether implicit or explicit or fluent wait you want to use for appropriate case. So set timeout values. Define appropriate timeout values to avoid excessive waiting. Uh, Apply in test scripts. Then integrate the waits before interacting with the web elements that require synchronization. So these are the 4 points you need to follow while implementing these waits. Uh, then, uh, then your test script will run smoothly. Implicit wait. So implicit wait, as I mentioned, if you set once on the top, same amount of time will be applicable for each line of code till end of the code. So what will happen? You set once. If necessary, the time automatically taken for every line. If any line requires, so you want to wait, then that will be applied automatically, this implicit wait. So implicit wait tells WebDriver to poll for a certain amount of time when trying to find an element or elements if they are not immediately available. So the default setting is 0. Once set, the implicit wait is set for the life of WebDriver object instance. So the whole script you can use this implicit wait. The syntax is so Selenium 4 syntax. Before Selenium, there are two parameters, but now you have only one parameter. So driver dot manage method dot timeouts method dot implicitly wait of duration dot of seconds. You give 30. So duration dot of milliseconds 3000 or 30,000 milliseconds. Duration of minutes 1 minute. So it basically implicitly wait method is overloaded here. You're passing different so type of methods, seconds, milliseconds, minutes, hours, days. You can pass any kind of thing. That's implicitly wait also follows method overloading concept of polymorphism. So I told you frame method is followed, and now second one is this one. So they will ask which uh, OOPS concepts are used in your automation. You can tell all these points. Now explicit wait. So explicit wait code is you have to identify the condition first. So I want to wait for the next page title. So once I click on that, immediately I have to add this explicit wait command. So you are waiting until next page title appears or next page element to be present in the page, or next page element is should be visible in the page. So this kind of conditions you can write. So that is the this explicit wait. So how to use this? So if you want to use, so you have to create a object for WebDriver wait class. So explicit wait is generally done using WebDriver wait class. So create a WebDriver wait equal to new WebDriver wait, and you have to give driver comma duration dot of seconds, of milliseconds, of minutes. There are methods in the duration class. You have to use two arguments for this WebDriver wait constructor. So object you have to pass two arguments. One is a driver reference, second one is a time. So using this wait object dot until method is there. So this until method you have to pass an argument expected conditions dot static method. Expected conditions dot static method you have to call. So your expected conditions is a class. So that class static methods you are calling as an argument for the until method. So there are different expected conditions class methods. I'll show you that. One by one we'll see those class and the methods. So when you should use, there is anonymous object. I already told this anonymous object in the Java. If you create an object for a class without reference variable, then that object is called anonymous object. So this is any class you can make an anonymous object without reference. If you just create object directly, so that's what I did here. This is anonymous object. You are calling the method. With that object, you are directly calling the method. Here what we did, first line we created object, and second line I used this reference to call the until method. But here, object creation and calling the method both will be done in the single line. That's the anonymous object process. So basically you are reducing the number of lines of code. That is the main purpose of this anonymous object concept. So any questions till now? Are we good? Okay. So when you can use this is, so we use this explicit wait if an element takes a long time to load. So we also use to explicit wait to check CSS property of an element, presence clickable or not, and so which can change the Ajax applications. So expected conditions class provides a great help to deal with all the conditions of your web page. So let's see some of them we'll discuss. And expected conditions class comes with a wide range of conditions that can be accessed with the help of WebDriver wait reference variable and until method. So how you can use these expected conditions class methods? You have to use your WebDriver wait reference dot until method you have to use. So here is the first one, element to be clickable. So the expected conditions wait for an element to be clickable, and it should be present and visible on the screen. Basically it is enabled and in a favorable condition, so whether it is favorable to click or not, it will check. So wait, how to use that method? Wait dot until, wait is a WebDriver wait object reference, until bracket expected conditions class dot element to be clickable static method, class name dot static method you are calling. So this all learned in Java, how to call particular class static methods, class name dot static method. So by any locator you can use. So you are looking for that. So that means you are looking for the compose element to be clickable or not, you are checking. That's the wait dot until. It will wait for the element to be available in the page. Second one, text to be present in element. You want to check in particular element the specified text is present or not. So then how to use this? Wait dot until expected conditions dot text to be present in element. So you give locator. So and what text you want to check. So alert is present, the expectation. So to check that alert box is appearing or not. So wait dot until expected conditions dot alert is present. So title is, so the expectation for checking the particular page title is present or not. So wait dot until expected conditions dot title is and you give your page title. Frame to be available and switch to it. The expected condition waits for a frame to be available and then switch to it once it is available, and wait dot until expected condition start frame to be available and switch to it by locator. You have to give the frame locator, right? Which frame it is. The frame locator you have to pass. Next we have a invisibility of. So you want to check invisibility of particular element that should be invisible. So wait dot until expected condition start invisibility of element. So next, presence of element located. So you want to check whether the element is present in the HTML page or not. You can check. So with this wait dot until expected condition start presence of element located. So there is a title contains also. So basically title is exactly how to give the page title. Title contains is you can give a partial page title, not required to give entire. So wait dot until expected condition start title contains, you can give partial title of the page. So URL contains. So URL contains is an expectation for the URL of the current page to contain particular URL of the page. This is the URL. This URL is contains means partially you can give and you can check that. So that URL is visible or not, available or not in the page. So visibility of. So there are so many methods. I have listed out here only few. Visibility of web element. You want to check the visibility of the element. So what is the difference between presence of element and visibility of element? Presence is it will check in the HTML code, the locator. But presence of visibility of element is in the UI, it is visible to WebDriver or not, it will check. That's the difference between visibility and presence of element located, visibility of element located. So please catch them properly. So this some of them I have given. There are so many. Where you can find them? You go to Selenium documentation and you can find all of them. Selenium.dev. If you go to so go to downloads, API docs, Java, and then arg.openkey.selenium. So there are so many classes here. Okay, look for your expected conditions class. But the packages we need to find out. Element click intercepted exception, element not interactable exception. But where is that? So we have to find the package. What is the package of this expected conditions class is, and it will be inside interactions package. Let me see. Interactions package. See all Selenium grid and I think here. So arg.openkey.selenium.interactions. Let's see here. Did we find not in the interactions again? I think events. Hmm. So you have to find the right package, which package it is available. Dot internal. I think in the internal. No. So what support? Yeah, in this support.ui here. Here you can find that. See, you can see unexpected. Yeah, expected conditions class. So this is the package you need to remember. arg.openkey.selenium.support.ui package. If you go here, you see fluent wait expected conditions class. So there is a select class also under this package. You can see all the methods here. See element. So attribute to be attribute to be. This is a method overloading concepts. So there are so many see in this class method names are same but parameters are different. So attribute contains, so in this locator this attribute contains or not, you can check it. Attribute to be, so element selection state to be, so element selection state to be, see this is the by dot locator, this is the web element. You can pass web element or you can pass by dot locator value. Every method is overloaded. Element to be clickable by dot locator. See the type is by type and locator. You can give the yesterday also like this, by and parameter name. The type of locator is by. So here the element is the parameter name. The type is web element. So you have to pass web element. Web element means driver dot find element. So that you need to pass. And element to be selected. Element to be selected. Frame to be available and switch to it. See int frame locator. Frame to be available and switch to it. String frame locator. Frame to be available and switch to it. By locator. Frame to be available and switch to it. Web element frame locator. So the method name is same but parameters are changing. This is called method overloading. So invisibility of all elements. See collection of elements also you can check. So this is the optional arguments you can check how many you want to check. You can give. So there are provided so many methods. Uh, Number of elements to be. So in this location, how many elements you want to verify? Number of elements to be less than, number of elements to be more than. You can find out. You want to check. So in this location, these elements, these many, you can verify. Presence of all element located and text to be. So title is, title contains, URL contains, URL to be. So there are so many methods. All these methods are available in this expected conditions class. Okay, so that's how we can go through and get that all these methods. And automatically when you write expected conditions dot, it will list out automatically in the pop-up, right, for you. So if you put a dot, every method in that class it will show you. The last one, fluent wait. So the fluent wait is, so it's a implementing the wait interface. There is a wait interface. That wait interface is implemented in the fluent wait class. So it has a timeouts, a polling interval configured on the fly. So when using the fluent wait instance, you can specify the frequency with which fluent wait has to check the conditions defined. ignore specific type of exceptions like waiting for no such element exceptions or timeout exceptions or element not interactable exception element. So uh, no such element exception. All is any kind of exceptions you can ignore with this fluent wait methods. The maximum amount of time to wait for a condition you can set that. So like this. So interface. So object reference equal to new fluent wait, and you can call the with timeout method, polling every method, ignoring method. So like this, you can ignore particular exceptions. You can poll for every 5 seconds the element. So that's these methods are available in this fluent wait. So you can use those methods, uh, but yeah. So I'll show you this. Then the important thing is, so what is the difference between WebDriver wait and fluent wait? So WebDriver wait is the child class of fluent wait. In fluent wait, you have more options to configure along with the maximum wait time like polling, interval, exceptions to ignore. So, so instead of waiting, then use the find element. You can use like this also. So this uh, generally we'll write web element equal to driver dot find element by dot link text, right? Element dot send key is key. Click you can use. Then instead of this, you can write like this. Web element equals to wait dot until expected conditions element to be clickable. This element to be clickable returns a web element. You don't need to separately write that. By dot link text you can give that. So that's the replacement for this line of code. This line of code you can directly use this also to get the web element. So then wait interface is a generic interface which makes Selenium to wait for a particular time with associated event. Events like element to be clickable, element to be present, title is present, so element to be invisible. All these are events. So wait interface present under org.openq.selenium.support.ui package, and fluent wait and WebDriver wait implements this wait interface. So until method is shown in the WebDriver wait class. So wait is an abstract method present in the wait interface. So whichever the driver implements the WebDriver, so must also implement this method until method. So which means browser classes must implement the methods present in the wait interface and WebDriver interfaces. So until method accepts an expected conditions class argument, and class must wait until the given condition either becomes null or false. So when they implement the until method, so you can use this until method implementation. Return type is a void. So fluent wait class implements wait interface, and WebDriver wait class extends fluent wait class. So this is called multi-level inheritance in Java. Fluent wait class implements wait interface in Selenium. Fluent wait object defines the maximum amount of time to wait for a condition. So an example is, so this is how you can write fluent wait equal to new fluent wait of driver, and fluent wait dot with timeout 30 time unit dot seconds. So Selenium 4 changes. This is how you can use. Now there are two, right? In this is the Selenium 3 concept. Now in Selenium 4, the with timeout is changed to duration dot of seconds. So even you can configure polling every also. Before it was 2. Now in Selenium 4, polling every changed to 1 argument. So that's the overall thing. What is the difference between implicit and explicit waits? So implicit wait applies to all elements in the test script. No need to specify expected conditions on the element. Most effective when used in the test case in which elements are located with the time frame. So then you can use implicit wait. Explicit wait applies only to specific elements as intended by the user. Must always use expected conditions class on the element to be located. most effective when used when elements are taking a long time to load, also useful when verifying particular condition to be satisfied, visibility of element located, element to be clickable, element to be selected, URL contains, so URL to be, all this you can check here. So that's the very important interview question, this one. Mandatory, this topic is a mandatory topic. Read this multiple times, make your own notes and prepare the points and talk on each. First you should know each wait command: implicit wait, explicit wait, fluent wait. What is mean by each? Then the differences. Then how you can set them. Implicit wait, how you can set. Explicit wait, how you can set. Fluent wait, how you can set. So this is the 3 points you have to cover while learning this wait commands. Mandatory interview question. So you are not going to skip this. It's a very easy one also. Okay. So let's join back with this. Theoretical part is done. Now we'll write the code. Right? We'll write the program. So I'll show you drop down and click type how you can perform. We'll take one scenario, then we can do the coding. Okay. Yeah. Let's join back and see the coding how it works.